Yo, check it. We're about to drop some knowledge on the betrayal of poor whites. This ain't no fairy tale, it's the real deal. So listen up. Back in the day, the big dogs at the top had a plan. It was like dangling a carrot, making sure those poor peasants had something to lose if they sided with the oppressed. They knew if the poor folks from different countries joined forces, they'd be in trouble. So what did they do? They offered poor European peasants a little taste of privilege, just enough to keep them loyal to the new caste system. Churches, new laws, and fake science backed this up. They started telling these peasants they were whites, and they were God's chosen people, and that they are better than non-whites. A poor peasant would now feel superior to any non-white person. Isn't that wild? Picture this. In places like Virginia, poor, previously enslaved peasants, now white, got small plots of land while non-whites were enslaved forever. No more indentured servitude contracts. But it wasn't just about land. They set up white jobs and made sure poor white peasants could get away with all kinds of messed up stuff against non-whites. They were manipulated, offered racial crumbs instead of real power. The real betrayal came from the top, from the ones who designed this whole messed up system. They knew unity was their biggest threat. It was like saying, hey, you might be lowborn, but at least you ain't at the bottom of the barrel. Poor whites often vote against their own interests, supporting systems that keep them down just to feel superior to non-whites. It's time to see through the lies and build that solidarity. Now here's where it gets real twisted. W.E.B. Du Bois called it the psychological wage of whiteness. The elite knew what they were doing. It was all about keeping people divided and scared. 'Cause when we're united, that's when we're truly strong. They saw what happened in Bacon's Rebellion, when African servants, European servants, and indigenous folks teamed up. After that, they changed the laws real quick, giving poor whites a few crumbs while making sure other folks were enslaved permanently. They used fear too. Poor whites were told that if they didn't stick together, freed slaves or indigenous people would take over. Now, why did poor whites fall for this? For some, it was about survival. A little privilege meant slightly better food or safety. Plus, it was easier to understand race than the complex ways they were being played by the elites. Fast forward to today, and we still see the effects of this constructed caste system. After many wars for freedom, we are still mentally enslaved by it. But here's the thing. When poor folks of all colors came together, like in some labor movements, the elites freaked out. So remember, poor peasants didn't just wake up one day, become white, decide to betray non-whites. It was constructed by the elites in colonial America. If we want to change things in America, we gotta understand history. Stop being divided. United we stand. Divided we fall. Stay up.